and welcome to Brian Brain's National Curriculum. This is the quiz that the entire family can take part in, enjoy, and hopefully learn something from. Okay, here we go. My name is Brian Brain, and if you haven't played before, don't worry, you'll soon get the hang of it. You might even want to create a prize for the winner or the winners if you decide to play as a team. Let's see if you younger budding brains can beat the adults, the boffs. You see, for every budding brain question for you kids, there's a harder boff question for the adults that'll follow. So, doesn't matter what your age is, everybody has an equal chance. The most important thing though is just to have some fun and build that brain power of yours. Because did you know that your brain works like your muscles? The more you use it, the stronger it gets. So, today's subject is history for year 3, and we've mixed all the topics up for you. So, for each question you get right, award yourselves a point. It's as simple as that. Don't forget to keep score as you go along, so you might want to get a pen and some paper before you start. Here's a bit of getting ready time. So, just before we start, here's my big tip. Try and create pictures in your mind of both the questions and especially the answers. It's the most powerful tool you have to remember things. Okay, everybody ready? Good, then off we go. Budding Brains, your very first question. Was a centurion a type of ancient Greek or a type of ancient Roman soldier? You'll get a bit of thinking time now. Off you go. Was a centurion in the Roman or the Greek army? And your time's up. Did you get it? It's a Roman. Of course it's a Roman. Boffs. How many troops did a centurion normally command? Of course, you get your thinking time too. Off you go. How many troops did a centurion normally command? And time's up. The answer is 80. 80. Despite a century being 100 years, a centurion normally commanded 10 sections of 8 men. That's a strange one because you'd have thought it was 100. Century, centurion, there you go. Did you know that the Romans had lots of different gods? The same as a lot of ancient cultures, including the Vikings. So, question 2 for you budding brains. Which of the Viking gods was their ruler? Was it Thor, Odin, Loki, or Sif? Here's your thinking time. Who was the ruler of the Viking gods? Was it Thor, Odin, Loki, or Sif? And your time is up. If you said Odin, you would be right. Well done if you did. And now here's a bit of sort of trivia for you. The Saxon version of Odin was named Woden. And it's from the day when Woden was worshipped that we actually get the name of the day Wednesday or Woden's Day. There you go. Boffs, what was the name of the hall in which Odin ruled? Think about this one carefully. Off you go. Tough one. What was the name of the hall where Odin ruled? And the answer is Valhalla. Now, some of you may have thought it was Asgard. Some of you mightn't have even had a clue at all, but that was the land ruled by Odin in which the Hall of Valhalla was said to stand. And now we go from the king of the Viking gods to an English king who fought the Vikings. Budding brains, which English king is famous for legendarily burning cakes? Which English king is famous for burning cakes? Give you a clue, he was something the Great. If you said it was Bobby the Great, you'd be wrong, but if you said Alfred the Great, then give yourselves a big pat on the back and a point. At the low point of his reign, when his army lost a big battle, Alfred is supposed to have got lost. He was asked by a woman to watch her cakes, but was so distracted thinking about what to do that he let the cakes burn. Interesting stuff, yeah? Okay. Boffs, according to his official title, which part of England was Alfred the Great king of? Which part of England was Alfred the Great king of? Think of helicopters. And the answer is Wessex. Just like Wessex helicopters, Wessex. So there you go on that one. After burning the cakes, Alfred would fight the Vikings back out of his lands and set up defences against them. Budding brains. Question 4. Which time period came first in Britain? Was it the Bronze Age or the Stone Age? Here's your thinking time. Which came first, the Bronze Age or the Stone Age? Well, time's up. You could have had a fairly good guess at that if you didn't know the answer, but it was the Stone Age. The Stone Age came before the Bronze Age and ended when people learnt to make bronze, a much better material for making most tools and weapons. Boffs. Which two metals were alloyed together to make bronze in the Bronze Age? Think about that one. Which two metals make bronze? Think about mines. Well, the answer is, did you get it? Copper and tin. Now, the history of Britain's often divided into several different phases, like the Stone Age or the Roman era. For most of the 19th century, we had the Victorian period. So, budding brains, in a Victorian classroom, children would often write their book on slate. What would they use to write on the slate? What material, what would Victorian children use to write on the slate with? Have a guess. Hasn't changed an awful lot. The answer is chalk. Now, Boffs, you probably know that naughty children in Victorian schools were often made to sit in the corner of the room wearing a conical paper hat with the letter D written on it. A cruel practice, if you don't mind me saying. What did the D stand for? Here's your thinking time. What did the